Tonight, you step into a new dimension of your life. Tonight, your words become commands, your faith becomes fuel, and your spirit becomes unstoppable. There is a power rising in you, a force that refuses to let you stay small, silent, or shadowed. And with every breath you take from this moment forward, your life begins to shift. Breakthrough is not accidental. It is activated. Abundance is not random. It is invited. Alignment is not luck. It is chosen. So hear me clearly. Your commands are the laws your life obeys. When you speak truth, the universe bows. When you speak authority, obstacles crumble. When you speak alignment, chaos organizes itself into clarity. Right now, you stand at the threshold of 7 divine commands, 7 spiritual catalysts, 7 keys that unlock everything you've been praying for, preparing for, crying for, hoping for, and believing for. Command 1. Speak as though the power is already yours, because it is. The word you speak becomes the path you walk. Declare it boldly. My breakthrough is unfolding now. Feel how that command begins moving mountains on your behalf. Feel how every invisible barrier trembles under the sound of your certainty. Command 2. Give yourself the holy permission to receive. You are not begging for blessings, you are claiming what has always belonged to you. Say it now. I accept my abundance without resistance. And watch how life begins rushing toward you with gifts you once believed were too big to hold. Command 3. Align your intention with your action. There is power in your steps when they are guided. There is acceleration in your movement when it is inspired. Affirm, I walk only in clarity, purpose, and divine direction, and the path will rise up to meet you. Command 4. Release what no longer serves your rise. Anything that drains your spirit, weakens your confidence, or diminishes your worth, let it fall away. Declare, I release everything that blocks my blessing. And feel the weight lift, the air clear, the energy expand. You cannot walk into a new season carrying the shadows of the old. Command 5. Stand in your worthiness. Stand in your expectancy. Stand in the knowing that what you desire is already in motion. Say it with intention. I expect miracles as my daily reality. This is not fantasy. This is spiritual law. Expectancy magnetizes what doubt repels. But tonight, something deeper is happening. Your commands are not just words, they are activations. They are signals sent into the unseen. They are declarations that summon alignment, open gates, and awaken destiny. And so I say to you, command your breakthrough, command your abundance, command your alignment, for you are not waiting on life. Life has been waiting on you. Waiting on your courage, waiting on your clarity, waiting on your command. Step forward now, unafraid and undeniable. Your season has begun, your path is open, your blessing is ready. Your command has been heard. The first command begins with the realization that your word is not merely sound, it is spiritual architecture. Every phrase you utter, every declaration you repeat, every belief you verbalize becomes a blueprint that life begins to follow. When you speak, you are not describing reality, you are shaping it. Many people move through life unaware that their words are constantly planting seeds, some of hope and others of fear. Yet the moment you begin speaking with intention, the moment you decide that your mouth will no longer echo your problems but declare your power, everything around you starts to shift. This command invites you to step into the authority of your own voice, to use your words as tools of transformation rather than weapons against your own progress. When you affirm, everything is working in my favor, you are not indulging in fantasy, you are aligning with a hidden truth that begins orchestrating circumstances toward your good. This command is not passive positivity. It is a deliberate, conscious choice to override the noise of fear with the clarity of faith. Your word becomes the creative spark that ignites movement in the unseen. The invisible realm is always listening, responding, reorganizing itself according to the energy you project. When you speak from doubt, you call forward delay, confusion, and collapse. When you speak from authority, you call forward order, guidance, and breakthrough. The power of this command lies not in the volume of your voice, but in the certainty of your belief. A whisper of faith carries more weight than a scream of fear. This command teaches you that even in moments when circumstances look immovable, you possess the ability to shift them through the language of intention. Words are not reflections of your circumstance. They are instructions to your circumstance. And every time you give a command aligned with your highest good, life responds. This command also invites you to become mindful of the subtle ways you sabotage your own progress through habitual speech. How often have you casually said things like, "I never catch a break," "Nothing ever works out for me," or "My luck is terrible"? These statements seem harmless in the moment, but they become scripts your life begins performing. By shifting your language, you shift your direction. You begin speaking not from your limitations, but from your limitless nature. You replace the language of scarcity with the language of expectancy. You speak from the version of yourself who already has the breakthrough, who already lives in abundance, who already stands in alignment. When you speak from that identity, you summon its reality. The first command is a vow to choose your words as consciously as you choose your future. It requires you to speak as if the door is already open, as if the blessing is already released, as if the path is already cleared. Because in the spiritual realm it is, your words simply call it into visibility. When you use your voice as a creative force instead of a reactive habit, you elevate your life beyond the ordinary. You awaken a power that has always lived within you, the power to command your destiny with the authority of your own spoken truth. The second command is a gentle yet powerful shift from striving to receiving, from resistance to acceptance, from believing you must earn every blessing to understanding that some blessings arrive simply because you are worthy of them. Many people move through life with their hands clenched, their hearts guarded, and their energy braced for disappointment. They carry old stories of not being enough, not deserving enough, not ready enough. These inner restrictions become invisible walls that block the very abundance they pray for. The command to receive begins with releasing these walls, dissolving the belief that good must be justified, negotiated, or proven. Instead, it asks you to step into a state of open-hearted permission where you say to life, "I allow every good thing meant for me to find me." This is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual alignment. It is the moment you stop arguing for your limitations and begin welcoming the blessings already trying to reach you. This command is a return to your natural state. You were born receptive, born with the instinct to trust, to ask, to expect, to believe. Over time, disappointments, judgments, and fears taught you to restrict the flow of good. You learned to anticipate loss before joy, struggle before ease, scarcity before abundance. The second command is the unlearning of this pattern. When you claim receptivity, you unclog the energetic channels through which opportunities, love, prosperity, and breakthroughs travel. Suddenly, things begin to move more easily. Doors open without force. Situations resolve without stress. People show up to help you without being asked. The shift is subtle but powerful. Instead of pushing life, you allow life to meet you. You become magnetic to the very experiences you once chased. There is profound strength in receiving. The world often confuses receiving with passivity, but receiving is an act of spiritual surrender. It is the recognition that you are not the source of your blessings, only the vessel. When you say, "I accept all that is meant for me," you are trusting a wisdom far greater than your own to deliver what aligns with your highest path. And this trust removes the tension that blocks abundance. It softens the mind, calms the heart, and clears the energy field around you. Life responds to open energy the way water responds to an open container, flowing naturally, filling effortlessly, seeking the path of least resistance. This command also requires releasing guilt. Guilt convinces you that joy must be rationed, prosperity must be earned through sacrifice, and blessings must come slowly. But abundance does not operate on guilt. It operates on availability. The more open you are, the more life can give. The more deserving you feel, the more abundance recognizes you as its home. When you give yourself permission to receive, you rewrite the internal narrative that once held you back. You begin to embody a different kind of confidence, not loud, not forceful, but deeply rooted, the kind that says, "Good is my birthright, blessings gravitate toward me, I do not chase, I attract." As you practice this command, you notice a new harmony forming within you. You no longer resist the goodness that enters your life. You welcome it, you nurture it, you expand it. And in doing so, you align yourself with the abundant flow that was always waiting for your permission to begin. The third command is the sacred meeting point between intention and action, the place where inner clarity merges with outer movement to create unstoppable momentum. Many people desire transformation, yet they remain stuck because their intentions are bold while their actions are hesitant, or their actions are abundant while their intentions are scattered. This imbalance creates friction, confusion, and stagnation. The third command invites you into coherence, into the power that rises when your mind, your energy, and your steps all speak the same language. When you declare, "I move only with clarity and alignment," you signal to life that you will no longer act from desperation, fear, or pressure. Instead, you choose to act from vision, intuition, and divine guidance. This command synchronizes your inner world with your outer choices, turning your path from chaotic to coordinated. Alignment begins with knowing what you truly desire beneath the surface noise of doubt, obligation, or expectation. It requires honesty, a willingness to admit what you want, even if it feels intimidating or unfamiliar. Once your intention becomes clear, the universe responds by illuminating the next step, the right opportunity, the aligned connection. But these signs can only activate fully when your actions match your intention. If you declare abundance yet move from scarcity, the energy becomes scrambled. If you declare breakthrough yet cling to old habits, the path becomes blocked. The third command restores harmony, reminding you that intention is the blueprint, but action is the builder. When you live in this command, you begin to experience what many call divine timing. This is not coincidence, but alignment. You stop forcing outcomes and begin following the rhythm of intuitive nudges. Those subtle impulses that say, "Go here," call them, pause, or wait. These whispers are not random. They are guidance. And when you trust them, your steps become inspired rather than exhausting. You waste less energy and gain more progress. Every action becomes infused with purpose, and because of that, even small steps carry massive momentum. The path of alignment always feels lighter, clearer, and more empowered than the path of force. This command also removes confusion. When intention is unclear, every option feels overwhelming, but when intention is strong, only the aligned path stands out. You no longer chase every door, you wait for the one that resonates. You no longer act out of fear of missing out. You act out of certainty that what is meant for you cannot pass you. This internal knowing creates confidence, grounding, and peace, even in moments of uncertainty. You trust the process because you are aligned with it. And yet, the beauty of this command lies in balance. It does not tell you to wait endlessly for signs, nor does it ask you to rush blindly into action. It teaches you to listen inward and move outward, to trust your intuition and honor your effort, to combine spiritual awareness with practical steps. When your intention sets the direction and your actions follow with devotion, momentum becomes inevitable. Opportunities that once felt distant begin to draw near. Progress accelerates, solutions appear, your life becomes a reflection of your alignment. The third command transforms the way you move through your days. You step with purpose, speak with direction, choose with wisdom. And as your actions align with your intentions, you step into the flow where breakthroughs unfold naturally and the path ahead becomes illuminated with clarity and divine support. The fourth command is the quiet yet profound art of releasing what no longer belongs in the chapter you are stepping into. It is the recognition that life cannot fill a space that is still occupied by what you have outgrown. Many people hold on to old pain, outdated beliefs, limiting identities, and narratives because they feel familiar, even if they are heavy. But breakthrough requires room, abundance requires space, alignment requires clearing. The moment you declare, "I release everything that blocks my blessing," you initiate a cleansing that goes far beyond the mind. You activate a deep spiritual detachment from what has been draining your energy, dimming your confidence, or anchoring you to a past that cannot accompany your rise. This release is not loss, it is liberation. It is the divine invitation to step into a higher version of yourself with nothing weighing your spirit down. Letting go is one of the most powerful spiritual technologies because it untangles the knots that keep you tied to stagnation. Every lingering resentment, every echo of self-doubt, every pattern of fear becomes a thread that anchors you to old cycles. Release cuts those threads. It breaks old agreements you made with pain, with scarcity, with survival mode thinking. Many people think they are stuck because life is resisting them, when in truth they are resisting the release of something that has already expired. The fourth command teaches you that holding on to what weakens you does not preserve you, it delays you. And when you choose release, you create an energetic vacuum that life rushes to fill with something new, something higher, something aligned. Releasing is not always emotional. Sometimes it is behavioral. It may be releasing procrastination, releasing the need to overgive, releasing habits that sabotage your potential. Sometimes it is mental, letting go of assumptions, expectations, or judgments that no longer reflect who you are becoming. Sometimes it is relational, recognizing that certain connections were meant only for a season and that forcing them into a lifetime creates imbalance. Release is ultimately an act of trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your path, trust that what is meant for you will remain and what is no longer needed will fall away. And there is beauty in the space that release creates. When you let go, clarity returns. When you let go, your intuition becomes louder. When you let go, your heart becomes lighter and your energy rises, making you a magnetic match for new opportunities. What once felt blocked begins to flow. What once felt distant begins to draw near. Release transforms the internal landscape where breakthroughs take root. It removes the spiritual clutter that muffles divine direction. It restores the emotional bandwidth needed to receive abundance. The fourth command is an invitation to trust that the universe never subtracts without preparing to multiply. When something exits your life, it clears the path for something more aligned to enter. When a door closes, it protects you from walking into places that cannot hold your destiny. Release is not the end. It is the opening. It is the sacred reset that allows your next level to arrive unhindered. And as you practice this command, you discover that letting go is not an act of weakness, but the foundation of expansion, the birthplace of transformation, and the signal that you are ready to rise. The fifth command calls you into a state of unwavering worthiness and bold expectancy, the frequency where miracles gather and abundance accelerates. It is the command that shifts you from hoping to knowing, from wishing to claiming, from waiting to preparing. When you declare, "I expect miracles as my normal," you rise into a spiritual posture that transforms how life responds to you. Expectation is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the understanding that you are not separate from the blessings you seek. You are a match for them. Worthiness is not something you earn, it is something you remember. And as you stand in this remembering, your energy changes. You no longer shrink to fit the limitations that others project. You no longer dim your desires out of fear of disappointment. Instead, you take your place as someone who fully believes that the good you envision is already on its way to you. Expectation is magnetic. It pulls opportunities, breakthroughs, and solutions into your orbit. When you expect the worst, you strengthen the vibration of fear. When you expect the best, you strengthen the vibration of abundance. Life mirrors your internal assumptions. You become a tuning fork for the experiences you anticipate. This is why the fifth command is so powerful. It rewrites the silent agreements you've made with lack, struggle, or delay. Many people say they want abundance, but internally brace for hardship. They say they desire breakthrough, but secretly expect disappointment. This contradiction creates an energetic tug-of-war that blocks manifestation. The command to expect miracles resolves this conflict. It sets your internal compass toward blessing, allowing your outer reality to follow. Standing in worthiness is equally essential. Without worthiness, expectation collapses. Worthiness is the inner recognition that you are enough exactly as you are, that you do not need to shrink, beg, prove, or chase to be deserving of something extraordinary. When you stand in worthiness, you allow life to pour into you without guilt, hesitation, or resistance. You stop apologizing for your desires. You stop questioning whether good things are too much for someone like you. You stop treating abundance as something reserved for other people. Instead, you embody the truth that every blessing with your name on it has been waiting for you to claim it. This command also infuses your daily life with intention. You begin preparing for the things you know are coming. You organize your environment, clarify your goals, elevate your habits, and heighten your standards. Expectation transforms preparation into prophecy. When you expect abundance, you carry yourself differently. Your choices become aligned with your future, not your past. You no longer settle for situations that do not reflect your worth. You no longer tolerate energies that conflict with your vision. Your self-perception changes, and your reality rises to meet it. And as you practice this command, you begin to see how expectation activates divine timing. Opportunities that once bypassed you now recognize you. Breakthroughs that once felt random become frequent. Life starts to feel orchestrated, as though the path is clearing in front of your every step. This is not coincidence, it is alignment. It is the unfolding that happens when your inner knowing becomes stronger than your outer doubts. The fifth command is a declaration that you are ready, not just ready to receive blessings, but ready to embody the version of yourself who lives in overflow, clarity, confidence, and divine support. Expectation turns possibility into inevitability, worthiness turns desire into destiny, and together they open the door to a life where miracles are not rare, they are routine.